Hey guys, welcome back. This is CourtSideHeat, CourtSideHeat.com, and today we got a lot to talk about. From the Phoenix Suns to the Hawks to hirings to drama, but this drama should not come as a surprise to many. It could still be weird, but not as a big shocker as past news. But we have so much to talk about. So much to dive into in today's podcast episode. But first, as always, whether you're new or whether you're here still watching our podcast or listening to our podcast episodes, we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you guys tuning in each one. And we're running a great special right now for the membership, for the exclusive memberships. The links are down below. But as we're making changes and modifying, always adapting by day to make your experience better and greater than anyone else's, we are giving you the first free days, the number free days off for free. Meaning, when you buy our membership for $3, the exclusive membership, the elite membership, when you click that blank below, and you get all the exclusive articles, everything, exclusive newsletters, everything. When you click down, when you see all the information, your first 3 days are free. You get a sample, everything, and it's all. And if you buy this on a Tuesday and you don't get the newsletter till Sunday, right? Till Sunday morning, because it comes out every Sunday morning. That's all right. We'll send you a free sample newsletter that you can see if you really like it, if this is something for you, and we'll still give you all the amenities. Even though you're on a free trial, this is a great way to test that. This is a great way to experience what it's like to be an NBA insider without paying tons of money for something that could go either way. Really cool. If you're listening to iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube, Rumble, Dailymotion, we're getting them on there. It's going to be in the link below. And yeah, just click it. It's going to take about 5 minutes to fill out. We're making it easier to read because this is very accessible. This is very mobile friendly just to fill out. It'll charge your card on the 4th day, but you'll be good to go. Okay, I got that out of the way. I was meaning to say something about that because that's very important. But now, something else important as we have to break down the breaking news, our first topic of the day, the first one that's hitting us that happened over the weekend, Friday, things like that. And now, I'm able to report it. First breaking news is that Kawhi Leonard, ahead of the anticipated closeout game, the Phoenix Suns have the opportunity to beat the Clippers 4-1 tonight. And Kawhi Leonard, who's been out for several weeks, will continue that trend, who's been ruled out for Game 5 against the Phoenix Suns. He's been dealing with an ACL injury, a knee, a sprained knee, whatever you want to call it, but it's a knee injury, affects ACL, has not played since the beginning of the second series against the Jazz, and the Clippers are just going to have to go down to Talking Stick Resort, Phoenix Suns Arena, with Paul George, Patrick Bear, Reggie Jackson, everyone else, to beat the Phoenix Suns, to beat a team that's hungry, not to be defeated in the in the postseason so easily, but you're also facing a team hungry to be in the NBA Finals since '93 when they had Charles Barkley. Okay, that was the thing with that is that hurts, but I didn't think that it was going to be one of those things. Like, when I heard the injury report that came out today, so around that time, I didn't think Kawhi was going to play. No one can, even if he had a chance to play, he was not going to play 100% or even 28%. And it seems random, but hear it out. The guy hasn't played for several weeks, and he's dealing with a knee injury. Those two are not going to mix well. So even if he played like 20 minutes, his level of productivity was not going to be well. No, neither way you look at it, and it could be a real offensive and defensive liability on the court. which the Clippers cannot have tonight, as you expect them to go full force. But before I jump into that topic, I'm going to continue with the breaking news. I want to talk about that in a later few segments, right? So next breaking news is that Penny Hardaway, head coach of the University of Memphis, is emerging as a serious candidate for the Magic job, for the head coaching job that the Orlando Magic are offering. This is a recently head coach, Penny Hardaway, right? I originally just said University of Memphis, who signed a 5-year contract that would extend him for 2023, but he may be opting out of that to go to main stage, real deal, NBA level with the Orlando Magic and a rebuilding roster and a rebuilding franchise that they desperately want to get off the ground into full force. That's what Penny Hardaway's there. There's been many other names been floating around for the Magic job, but it's looking to be shaping up as Penny Hardaway, as if he's emerging as a quote-unquote serious contender or serious candidate. And I'm seeing nothing stopping it because we have so many names already going off. One head coach that has not been getting any or much attention recently was Mike D'Antoni, as a lot of the guys fired are not getting, majority of them guys not getting fired, not getting new head coaching or any coaching jobs, besides the fact that Rick Carlisle was able to get a job, right, excluding him, and different head coaches like that. But yes, that's the breaking news. Penny Hardaway emerges as serious candidate for the Orlando Magic job. Keep an eye on that. We'll keep monitoring it day to day, and maybe we'll see that happen. Okay, last piece of breaking news I want to get into today, and that is Chauncey Billups. Yes, the assistant head coach is now turning pro to a head coach. He is being signed to the Portland Trail Blazers on a 5-year contract. Now, moving away from the breaking news statement, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Portland Trail Blazers, because there's a lot of controversy surrounding him, Damian Lillard, and the franchise as a whole. There is some serious backlash, pushback, that the franchise, with their coach searching, with them trying to find a new head coach, with them trying to recruit one to keep Damian Lillard, to keep him pleased, and the fact that they're still in the rebuild stage, having a dynasty to the roster in the past few years, that is leaving Damian Lillard with a question mark hanging over his head, meaning he could be on his way out of Portland. This is speculation, but this is becoming more firm and more real than it has 2 months ago. With all speculation, a month ago we had more speculation, but it's coming alive more and more. This is something coming up on the heels of our feet. This is something that should scare everyone, because if that's so, he could be recruited to the Lakers. He could be recruited to anywhere, really, right? But this would mean that Damian would have to opt out of his contract, force his way out, or get traded, right? Most likely get traded, but he's not impressed with Chauncey Billups. He originally wanted Jason Kidd. That didn't work out. Kidd turned down the Portland job, said he didn't want anything to do with it. That's why he turned it down. And then that left us with the roster with C.J. McCollum, Robert Covington, and different guys like that. So he's upset, rightfully so. I believe 10 or 12 years in the league, I can't remember. But he's been with that team forever. If he does decide to play 1 or 2 more seasons with this team, or just let his contract go out when it does go out, it will be, this upcoming season will be his first year without Terry Stotts, his former head coach, who signed back in 2008, 2009 with the team with a young Damian Lillard. This will be his first season with Chauncey Billups if he does decide to stay. Same with CJ McCollum and whatnot. But there's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of heat being flared up. And Portland could be losing their main franchise star, who has tried to do everything in his power to take him to the playoffs, to rise to the next occasion. But besides CJ McCollum and LaMarcus Aldridge throughout the years, who else do you have? And if those guys can't work, then what can? Even Melo hasn't worked out. And I know he's not what he used to be with the Knicks, with the Nuggets, right? But still, he was returning. He was still putting up good points. But even in the postseason against the Nuggets, just something was not right. And after that Game 6 when Terry Stotts was fired, it just went down to more turmoil and to more hazardous water. But that is the breaking news. That's the controversy surrounding the Blazers right now. I don't know what to make of it. My personal feeling on it is that Damian Lillard's gone. I say that he's going to be gone. If not this season, next season. Unless Chauncey Billups convinces him otherwise. Say, you know what? First season, this is my rookie season. Give me a shot. And if it doesn't work out, we can talk about this later. I don't know. I think Damian Lillard's gone. I think Damian Lillard wants to win a championship, obviously, without question. He has every player's hunger and motive to try to win something out of their career, right? And Damian Lillard's too good to have his talent not be set on a championship. And this would raise many eyebrows if he says, I want to trade. This is over. Thank you, Portland, for all you've done for me. We've exchanged good memories, but it's time for me to go. I've given all I got this season, my entire career. I just want to be traded. Bring me to Team X if you can. What that team will be, we don't know. Speculation still surrounding Kawhi Leonard. Damian Lillard if he forces out for the Lakers. People are trying to recruit him to the Lakers. People are like, well, imagine LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kawhi or Damian, and whoever else they have on our roster. That would be scary. That would be something impressive. That would be a unique championship team. One that may be able to win. One that may be able to take it all the way to win the 2022 NBA Finals or something like that. That's just the gist of it. That's just the speculation, prediction, right? None of that's foreseeing right now, but you never know. So, stress been getting everybody? Yeah, stress has been causing me a lot of problems. And it starts with the Phoenix Suns. Hey, we're 3-1. Yay. I'm like emotionally drained. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm like emotionally drained because last game, even though we won, killed me. Like, legit killed me. I'm not even kidding because Chris Paul and Devin Booker did not play well last game, but the teammate that helped them the most was DeAndre Ayton. It was so frustrating. No one would make a shot. Maybe you need to have one of those games that are just down in the dirty, not high scoring. But the Suns were originally winning by at least 15 at one point. But then they weren't shooting shooting better than the Clippers, just barely in the first half. Second half, the Clippers turned it on. They're going back and forth. Suns really never lost that lead. They kept good control. Chris Paul hit some good-looking shots. He rarely does that. Devin Booker could not find any good rhythm with or without the face mask on to protect the broken nose, which we know that was broken in 3 different spots by Patrick Beverley inadvertently. But it was bad. At one point, the Clippers in the third quarter scored us out 30-19. just like in their Game 3 victory against us. It was bad. It was really bad because, put in perspective, we weren't shooting well. If it was not for DeAndre Ayton, I would seriously consider anybody the possibility of saying the Clippers could have won that game if not for DeAndre Ayton, who had 22 boards and 19 points. And it's not like I'm putting the team down. They played gritty. They played tough. But Chris Paul and Devin Booker combined for 14 of 44. A little bit better from last game. But last game they combined for like 10 of 40 something. They just slightly improved, and they can't have that. Not in 38 minutes. Aiden scored 19 points. He was 8 of 14, 22 boards in 41 minutes. Like, no one was able to go, but somehow the thing that stood out to me the most was defense, because both teams were lacking offensively. But Patrick Beverley played a superb defense, and so did DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, this series and these past series have been playing like the number one overall pick from the 2018 NBA draft when the Suns drafted him number one. That is crazy how much he has flipped the switch on. He's cocky, arrogant, don't know if we were able to use him. We should have drafted Luka to now saying he's a monster. Like, you should see him. He's turning into his being of, whoa. After 3 years, we're finally getting something out of him. He's making huge plays, put-back dunks, hustling, getting rebounds, getting those rebounds, doing the gritty, gutty work that no one wants to be doing, putting up good shots, getting teammates involved when he can, finding the open man when there's nothing for him, and he's just selfless now to the point where every time he gets a double-double, he's not cheering, but it's like, my teammates helped me, especially on the valley oop. If it was not for him, we would have lost Game 2. Game 3 was just a entire blowout for us. It silenced us. So for us to win Game 4, not great, but good. Amazingly on defense, because if we didn't play well on defense, we were going to be smoked and whipped to every corner and every inch of that court. But let me just pull up the team stats. Ready? The Suns went 36% from the field. Clippers 32.5%. Free pointers 20%. Clippers 16%. Free throws 85%. Clippers 65%. Rebounds as a whole 59 Suns, 59 Suns, 51 Clippers. Assist 16 Suns, Clippers 13. Right, steals are tied. Blocks, we were just monsters on the blocks, 8-2. Suns won that. Right, we had 2 more turnovers than them. They had 2 more points than us, though, on points off of turnovers. They had 1 more fast break point than us. We scored more in the paint, but we had more fouls. And we were teed up twice. Our largest lead was 16. The Clippers never had a lead, so we always managed to keep it in front. But it might have been boring just hearing me say those numbers, but those are some ugly numbers. Our backcourt did not play well. Our front court did, but not our backcourt. Because Devin Booker and Chris Paul especially should not be playing that way. But I'm going to give Chris Paul a pass. Here's why. He was out for 10 days with rest and COVID, right? He came back in Game 3, shot ugly. But I think he's just trying to work his body back into it. Not playing games, being regularly out due to COVID, whether he had symptoms or not, that's going to take a toll. Fatigue's going to take a toll on you, right? But at least now, like yesterday, I don't know whether he did or didn't, but it could have been getting refs. They could have been doing full court games, getting conditioning back up, trying to ease everyone back into it, because everyone knew that if shots were not hitting, we just had to keep it going, because originally it looked like we weren't going to be stopped. Like, this was like the game 4 against the Nuggets, right? In series number 2 the Suns had. However, in the second half, it just switched. And if our defense failed like that, we were going to be hosed to the everlasting minute that game could have went on, because we were up by 15, 10, 9, 8. It got so bad to where it was like 2 points, 1 point. And Paul George is the biggest choke job of them all. Because when he needs to hit some free throws in clutch time, we normally look for Kawhi Leonard, but Paul George, back-to-back games, these past 3 games, has been a trifecta of missing free throws in the clutch, either going 0 for 2 or 1 for 2. And in those huge situations, you should not be missing out on those opportunities, because those are key game changers. Like in game 2, you miss 2 free throws. The value comes up. You lost the game because you squandered and you can't actually play clutch, because you're never clutching your career. The only thing you're clutching is a lot of other guys being clutch, like Damian Lillard, Kobe Bryant, shooting over you from half court from the 3-point line, right? Last game 3, free throws, he was shooting much better for free throws, but he wasn't in a clutch situation, right? The Clippers demolished, humiliated, embarrassed, striking down the beaten Suns team in the first and second half, right? But Paul George cost his team many free throws. That team couldn't shoot for its life from the free throw line. I'm pulling up stats. He was 12 of 18 from the free throw line. And you may be like, that's only 6 free throws. Okay, 6 points they missed. But let me explain this to you. The Suns could have lost their lead many times. The Clippers could have gained that lead many times. And it came down on free throws in the final minute. It's where we were game 2. And it's now a series because, yes, the Clippers did their job of winning at home once out of 2 games, but when it comes down to a pair of free throws, when it comes down to shots, when it comes down to perfectly executed defense, they did not rise to the occasion. Ty Lue's never going to mistake Kawhi Leonard for Paul George for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard would have hit that because he's been there, done that. He's been in more crunch time, clutch time situations where a team needed him, where they had to count on him, whether it's with the Spurs, Raptors, or now. But the only reason why it's not that way is because he's injured. But truth be told, now since we know that, even if Kawhi Leonard did come back, we would just be fouling Paul George, because Paul George can't make it simple, no contested shot known as a free throw. And as a veteran, as one of the team leaders, as a dominator, as many like to call him, as many like to see him as, you gotta hit free throws. Free throws are something you need to hit. Even Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, was losing his mind. He just couldn't believe it. No one could believe it. We saw it was a fluke when he missed it in game 2. We saw it was a fluke. But now it's turning out that the man can never hit free throws. And if you're the Clippers, I would be scared to death. Why? It's because you can't trust. Just can't trust this team with Paul George. Because, funny thing, last game, game 3, he went 6 of 7 from the free throw line. But that wasn't clutch. They blew the team out 106-92 against the Suns, right? They got that part win. It was a fatality that could have ended bad, right? It was something that was fatal, something that was dangerous if they would have lost that game. That's why they need to step up. But let me tell you this. when looking at the stats and whatnot, wasn't Paul George. Paul George is 27, but it's easy to score when you beat a team. But Reggie Jackson, Zubac, and Mann was really hitting those shots. You can say what you want by a stat sheet, but majority of those points came in when the Bean Suns were stricken down with lightning from this Clippers team. When they got cut off, it was just bad because no one played well in Game 3 besides Aiden. And if I'm the Suns, you have to say, look, Booker, I know you broke your nose. Gotta be more consistent. Look, Paul, you gotta be more consistent. I get it. You're coming off all this rest and COVID. But please, this is huge. Even when Devin Booker was okay, without the face mask, he's still gonna hit shots. I don't know. Like, even simple drive ones. Now, Devin Booker did hit a clutch shot within the last few minutes of the game. They will rise to the occasion when needed. But Chris Paul missed 2 easy shots to seal the game. Chris Paul missed a free throw to seal the game. But St. Goodness for the Suns, they were up by 1, so they just kept, that's Myron Williams' plan, just kept fouling the team, let them go up, but then they're still up, right? So it's like one of those things. It benefited the Suns in that moment, just like, okay, just foul him, because Myron Williams, that Sun team knew that the Clippers were going to foul us, especially when they couldn't hit shots, because they were hoping one of us was going to choke. But if I'm that Suns team, I'd be like, okay, we're going to be playing much better. Shots are going to become more consistent. If Devin Booker and Chris Paul cannot play well, Chris Paul, everybody, campaign, who came off ankle injury, but was playing good, right? I need point guards, power forwards, centers. I don't care. Just defeat it to DeAndre Ayton, because if he's shooting consistently, I need Jay Crowder to step up. I need Mikal Bridges to step up. Cam Johnson to step up. Payne to step up. I need everyone on that bench, everyone on that team, just to step it up. That's what Myron Williams needs to set as a tone. That's what each player needs to set as a tone, as a responsibility, as a mentality, and just going in there and playing explosive, bringing that physicality, bringing that aggressiveness, bringing that mental game that Chris Paul does, bringing the be legendary mini Mamba in Devin Booker. They've been there, done that. They've been to LA, done that. And they're one game away from dethroning the second Los Angeles team from being in the playoffs. They did it to Sarah Braun's team in 6 games. And they did it to the Nuggets in 4. Now they have a chance to do this in 5. In 5. We're one game away from the NBA Finals. This is the most electrifying game they'll be playing all series, all postseason. Why? The Suns have never won, never once, not even a chance, not even against Jordan. In 1993, won an NBA Finals, never won a championship in their franchise history. That's insane. And that's insane. That's something you have to look at. Like, wow, we're 5 games away from lifting the trophy everybody's been destined for. We're the team that has not been in the playoffs since a decade. We were the team 3 years ago, that was a laughing stock of the NBA that said, oh, Suns, okay, another atrocious night, another bad season. This was the team where they had speculation on what they were going to do with Devin Booker. That's Eric Bledsoe left because we were that bad. That's why he went to Milwaukee. We had players like Tyson Chandler making headlines because we were playing so bad. Devin Booker was putting on career nights, and we were still playing bad. We had Tyrese Ulis, or how to pronounce his last name, on our team as a midget. And we were still playing bad. We were considered the top 5 worst teams in the NBA. Post Nash and Amari Stoudemire. How apropos, we come back and we're stronger than ever. How funny is it that we're beating the Clippers, formerly Lob City, with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, for Chris Paul to beat his former team where he started out after the Pelicans. Anybody remember that? This is all coming down, and we're getting fans. We're getting people tuning back into these games. 6-point-something million are tuning into these other games. If we make it to NBA Finals, you guys have to tune in, because the Phoenix Suns, despite all of the NBA's flaws, their ideologies, their political mindset, and how they want to just ruin sports for everyone, it does not matter. The Suns, and a basketball fan, a sports fan, it all comes down to this game to be in the NBA Finals. That's significant. That's grand. That's heaven for this team. And you can't let that slip. You're up 3-1, capitalize it, send another sorry LA team home, and let's get it. Let's go face either the Bucks or the Hawks. And I'm not kidding. I'm pumped up. I don't care if this sends me even to more stress, because we can have a huge lead, doesn't matter. We can lose the lead, doesn't matter. We just gotta keep the grip on the game. We have to keep our hands on their throat and squeeze every ounce of life out of them to win a game, to say we won a Western Conference final. We're going to the NBA Finals. Chris Paul's getting his dream of winning a championship, but we're not there yet. I'm not going to fantasize that moment yet, because I don't want to. I want to fantasize us winning this game tonight, because it comes down to this game tonight, Monday, July 20th, 6 p.m. at Phoenix on ESPN. This is going to be awesome. I want everybody to enjoy this moment, because you never know what can happen. But we worked so hard for this moment, and it cannot be squandered tonight, because you just never know what could happen. Okay. That's all I have on the Phoenix Clippers game, right? LA, Phoenix, Talking Stick Resort, ESPN. Know where to find it. Look it up. This is going to be a highly anticipated game. The only game tonight until Milwaukee, Atlanta tomorrow. And we could be having tons more break tomorrow. Come tomorrow with a break, because Milwaukee and Atlanta, I think it's only in game 4 now, starting tomorrow, right? Okay, let us move away from the Suns Clippers, because I've talked about everything there. I've discussed everything. I brought breaking news about them. Campaign to go. That's as far as I know. But this is where we're at. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to be tuning into the game. I got to be there for the game, and I just cannot wait. But that was Suns Clippers. Let's move on to Bucks Hawks. The final topic of today. And if you guys haven't already noticed, I meant to bring out my prediction. If you guys didn't notice, I'm taking the Suns in 5. I'm taking the Suns. Yep, it's going to be one of those great days. That might actually get my prediction come true. I'm always going to rep the Suns, so yeah, that's my prediction. Suns in 5. So, Bucks Hawks. Man, oh man, what a game. Yesterday, what a game. So, the Hawks won it. 116-113 game 1 in Milwaukee. Game 2 was an utter blowout in Milwaukee, where the Bucks won it 125-91. The 91, that it may not seem as bad, but that was a huge blowout. In the first half, it was nothing. I'm going to try to pull up the box score, because that was soul crushing defeat for any team. And the Bucks pushed it hard down their throat. They stomped like a mud hole into the ground to that court. Just stomped a hole right for that court saying, we've been here. This is where we're at. That's how we're going out in Milwaukee on our terms. Tied is one apiece. But it was a close game in the first quarter, 34-28, right? But then the second quarter, it was 43-17. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm checking this right there, yeah, their largest lead for Milwaukee was 41. Atlanta never had the lead. They were so dominant in the paint that they went 62 points in the paint to Atlanta's 30. They shot 52% from the field, 36% from the three-point line, 62% from free throw. Had more rebounds by 13, more assists by 16, more steals by, what would that be? 6. Yeah, 6. Less turnovers, more fast break points, less fouls, a larger lead to them by considerable amounts, right? That was just game 2. They blew them out. That was a soul crusher for them in game 2. Trae Young went 6-16, only 15 points. John Collins, 5-9, not bad, 11 points. Kevin Huerter was 3 of 10. Bogdanović was 50%. 3 of 6, right? Capella 1 of 5, 2 points and 8 rebounds. Really off night for him for the boards, especially. Was not even nearly close of getting double digits in any of his categories. But let me say this. Giannis, Holiday, Middleton, they all packed a punch. Giannis had 25 on 11 of 18. Holiday was 9 of 14 on 22. Middleton, 6 of 13, 4 of 15 points. They said they just stomped the mud hole in them. But it really came down again. Yesterday night, Sunday night, Bucks won back-to-back games. First time coming into Atlanta, right? Bucks won last night, 2-1. In a highly anticipated game. Again, right? Only game on, but everybody could feel the tension because, like, oh, the Hawks are in Atlanta, they're going to win. But they're not putting pushback. Like, no, this is the Bucks. Everybody's underestimating this team and whatnot and just making fun of them when they shouldn't. And it came down to the final minute. Final few minutes where the Bucks and Hawks are up, we're going back and forth. Hawks are up by 5, but then the pedal was pushed to the metal when all you saw was just the Bucks driving. You just couldn't stop them. The Bucks scored 30 points to Hawks 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's insane. But it looked like a win for the Hawks. Turned out not to be. Both Trae Young and everyone else played well, but Middleton scored 38. Giannis scored 33. Bobby Portis scored 15. Lopez scored 10. Holiday had 12 assists, right? Trae Young had 35. Collins had 13. Capella with 11 and 8. Huerter with 11, right? Gallinari with 18. Man, oh man, it's crazy when you think about it. Everyone had good, great, and decent games. Like you could just tell, but the Bucks just ripped it away. And if I'm the Bucks, you have to win game 4, right? Is it going to be game 4? Yeah, it's going to be game 4 against the Hawks in Atlanta to say, we're going to up 3-1. We're going to the NBA Finals. No more pushover, no more pushback. We are the real deal. Hawks need some more time, right? The Hawks are getting super lucky right now, right? Because you have an interim, hopefully turned head coach, Damian Lillard, in their young core that was not expecting this much push into the postseason, especially when they were 14-20 into the postseason, ending 41-31, and just grinding and battling their way through. But if I'm the Bucks, I gotta keep this up because even if they win, or even if they lose game 4, you still gotta go back to Milwaukee. So even if you give a game to Atlanta, I wouldn't matter about that because the Hawks are gonna give you everything you got. Trae Young's gonna try to find that consistency. Herter's gonna keep showing up at times. Bogdanovich's gonna hit those threes. Capella's gonna be a defensive monster, maniac, whatever you want to call him, right? So Tuesdays when you're looking down on TNT and you're like, what can they do? Like, what can we do? Because Giannis is not gonna go down without a fight. Young is not gonna go down without a fight. And just by looking at the box scores, looking at everything, you say Bucks, but I'm never going to count the Hawks because even Milwaukee, they won a game in Milwaukee. It's not like we're shooting down the barrel of, look, the Hawks are down 3-0. Like, what can we do? Look, it's only 2-1, but if I'm the Hawks, you have to win game 4. You can't go down 3-1 to this Bucks team because the Bucks will fall right into place of going to the NBA Finals. The Hawks just need to win it. That's what they need to do. And I know that's easier said than done. I will give that to anyone 100% of the time says, well, that's the boldest, most idiotic thing to ever say, right? Because you can say, well, that team needs to win, but are they going to win? And I don't know. It depends. But today's only Monday, but that game's tomorrow. I'm shocked that the Hawks lost at home. Surprisingly, I don't believe the Bucks are a good team as everybody thinks they are. But for the NBA Finals, Suns, Hawks may not pull the greatest. You might need the Bucks. But I'm going to talk about that more and more as we get close to that, right? I'm not gonna explode on that topic now because that's a heavy topic. Because there's a lot of controversy with these refs, with the league officials, with everyone consuming the NBA saying, look, there's some controversy going on. No, I think they were where I had Lakers Bucks, Lakers Nets, Lakers anyone, right? But I'd rather have the Suns in the NBA Finals than the Nuggets, than the Trailblazers, than anyone, right? But Trae Young is going to go off for a great game in Game 4. They just got to set the court better, space it. Their front and back court's got to play better. Defense got to be a little more crisp, especially when Giannis feeling it. He's driving down that lane. Or when Middleton's able to get some shots full. Or even when P.J. Tucker's able to play great defense and see how he can affect the team defensively. Not offensively, because no one ever gets him the ball besides one missed shot he had. Because he only had a point. It's not P.J. Tucker. It's not P.J. Tucker's role. The Houston Rockets used him as a center when they're playing small ball, and somehow that worked. Look, that's where we're at now. But that's all I got. Truly. I can't talk about anything else. I'll actually need to see one of those games. I'll need to see more reports, but I'm going to talk about that more tomorrow morning, right? Because I'll get better information on the situation. And I just want to see where they're at after today, seeing what else I can dig up. Just saying, you know what else in my memory box or research can I say to say, well, this is where we're at, and this is how the Hawks can win. But I just wanted to glance over that, the Hawks-Bucks. I'm not too worried about that series. We know the Suns are going to go to the NBA Finals at one point. Our team's never blown a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals. You can always say it's their first for everything, but not since my Suns were in the conference finals. But yeah, this is going to be a fun night. This is going to be a fun night tonight. Stressful night, an impactful night, refy kind of night. Meaning the refs are going to be involved. I wouldn't be surprised if Booker gets thrown out tonight. I'm not surprised if anybody gets thrown out tonight, as he did last game, due to foul trouble. But both these teams are going to give their all. But Game 3 was the Clippers' punch. The Clippers not going to give another punch. It is over, and I am proclaiming that. I'm demanding that, commanding that, whatever ending I can put to that, I'm doing it now. That's all I got. That's the podcast. That's the podcast episode for today. We got all the postseason. Remember, the draft is coming up July 23rd. We're already talking about the Cavs, what they're going to be doing, different teams like that. It's inching closer. We'll keep talking about it when we get more information. But that is that. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back here same time, hoping that's at 8 a.m. We'll break it all down. We'll get it here when we can on all the stream platforms across SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Dailymotion, Rumble, and everything else. We have it all. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, sometime in the morning, but we'll be here in the morning. Oh boy, this is going to be a big one, and we can't wait to break it down tomorrow. Thank you for listening.